Hi, Susan Barrett here. The international events that America has been involved in this last week, or this last year, I guess, have made me think of the word rape. And what is it about the rich and powerful that they have no conscience about rape? And I'm thinking not in terms just of what's going on with the Epstein files, but also what's going on with our activities around the world, paid for by our tax money. So, rape is not just the classic understood definition of to force someone to have sexual intercourse. It also includes acts of plunder, violent seizure or abuse, despoliation, think of the environment, violation, to seize, take, or carry off by force. Raptor, interestingly, has the same root, one who seizes by force. The national symbol of the United States is the bald eagle, a raptor and a thief, as it steals the prey from other eagles, such as osprey. Now, this is no shade on bald eagles. They are beautiful animals. They're just doing what nature trained them to do. And they don't have the thought processes that humans are supposed to have. But how different might our self-image as a country have been had Benjamin Franklin actually won the argument over the national symbol and the wild turkey, clever, resourceful, and a source of food, been chosen as our symbol? I find myself unable to ignore the evidence that the international class of people who were involved in Jeffrey Epstein's group of men and women who allegedly raped boys, girls, and young women is now the same class of people raping away the leaders of other countries to amass power, raping the environment that keeps us alive by plundering out of the earth and burning fossil fuels to amass more wealth and power, raping our hardworking, tax-paying immigrant friends and neighbors by violently seizing them off the streets on their way to the market or to work and disappearing them, and raping American middle class of our health care, our security, our political voice, our constitution, and our tax money in order to amass ever more money and power politically across the planet. What is it about the rich and powerful that they have no conscience about rape? Well, their wealth separates them from the people they rape. Ever since the 1980s, large American corporations have been becoming international conglomerates with no loyalty to America, the American people, or the American values. Their loyalty has become to shareholders and quarterly profit only, to avoid unfriendly takeovers and loss of profits to their shareholders, lest they lose their multi-million-dollar jobs. I mean, really, people, how do people who make $30,000, $40,000, $60,000 a year make it in a world where a project manager at Netflix, and this is kind of a different subject, as this is the technology salaries, make $30,000 a month. They make in a month what a waiter or a chef might make in 6 months or a year. But as corporations become international in their interests, corporate leaders become obscenely wealthy, with incomes hundreds and thousands of times greater than the incomes of the workers who provide the wealth. And we become okay with that because aspirationally, we also strive to reach those highest levels of income and leisure. But it's not okay. The very wealthy now live in the rarefied air of no allegiance to any country or people, and no responsibility except to the bottom line and their own enrichment. They are allied with one another I can imagine this game of wealth accumulation and competition for that wealth that they play. They fly all above it all. They fly in private jets to islands like Crete, St. Bart's, the Caymans, Canaan, Ibiza, and Capri that cater to the super rich, where they party and schmooze and check out one another's bottom lines like dogs sniffing one another's tails. They run much of the world, and they don't care about the people. Look, I don't know all the answers. I don't even know what the right action to take is. But it is clear that the same class of people who physically raped and terrorized boys, girls, young women are now enriching themselves at the expense of the money and freedoms of the people of the United States of America. And we need to stand up to them in any way that we can, whether that's with your body, your voice, or your dollars. And no one of us can do it all, but when we gather together, we have millions of people on the streets. We let them know, and I don't know what the bottom action is. I don't know what the bottom line is there. Will we have a vote in this November? Will we be allowed to vote? I'm pretty sure in California we will vote. Let's hope all of America gets to vote and gets to put a class of people in charge of America that cares that children are raped, that cares that our rights have been raped away from us, that cares that the environment that keeps us alive, that gives us the air we can breathe, the water we can drink, is being raped away from us by the burning of fossil fuels to enrich the ever more wealthy. See you later. Thanks.